Hey guys, welcome. No chance to come in here. What's up, Greg? What's up, Maggie? What's up, Hornet? How you guys doing today? Like a free Thursday. It's Thursday. What's up, Johnny? How's everyone doing? What's up, Rob? Sorry about the background noise. So they're doing like some yard work. So if you hear something, that's what it is. So I saw this interesting article. Basically made me want to come on and go live today. This article about voting rights. What's up, Jarhead? Miss Jarhead. What's up, Susan? Yeah, so I saw this article about it says the right to vote is not in the Constitution, and that is absolutely true. I mean, there's all kinds of things to say how you can't, you know, about everyone should have the right to vote, but the actual right to vote is not in the Constitution. And I was doing some research on it. It was our founding fathers actually made it that way for a very interesting reason, which I want to get into in a little bit here. But go ahead and open up the stream, I guess. That's all right. That's right. Anybody that wants to come on in. All right. So yeah, this art was really interesting. Yeah, it's really long. All right. So yeah, and it says right here, the right to vote says the framers of the Constitution never mentioned a right to vote. They didn't forget, they intentionally left it out. To put it most simply, the founders didn't trust ordinary citizens to enforce the rights of others. When back in the day, when the original framers of the Constitution were in power, they made it to where only landowners could vote at one time, which is just crazy, right? Um, to me, that's really interesting because the whole point of us getting away from England was what? No representation for taxation, right? And yet they weren't allowing people to just everyday citizen to vote because they didn't trust them. It's pretty ridiculous. If you ask me. You have to have back in the day you had to be a landowner, and they left it to each state's discretion. It says right, they were creating a radical experiment in self-government paired with the protection of individual rights that are often resented by the majority. As a result, they did not lay out an inherent right to vote because they feared rule by the masses would mean the destruction of, not better protection for, all the other rights to the Constitution and Bill of Rights as a whole. Instead, they highlighted other core rights over the vote, creating a tension that remains today. Now, that little statement right there, uh, they feared rule by the masses, would mean the destruction of not better protection for all. which is kind of what we're seeing today with mob rule. You know, all these all the people that are out there protesting and rioting, they want it their way, right? And so, uh, in a lot of cases, there are cities and states that are uh, acquiescing to this and doing things that these people want, not simply because they necessarily might think it's the right thing to do. It's because it is what the people want to do. And I always thought that that's exactly what our government was about. We the people. No, 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 no. The founding fathers, it was about we the people, landowners type thing. They were more worried about their class because they feared the people because they didn't trust the general public, everyday average Joe Schmo. I'm echoing. Okay, let me see. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, agreed. Women weren't able to vote. Yeah, they needed to have that as a add that in. But if you notice, like the actual right to vote is not even in the Constitution whatsoever. So it's just one of those things. It's quite interesting. I'm gonna put that up if anyone wants to come on in. Oh, so yeah, it's just interesting. The right to vote was not in, and the fact that the government didn't trust us. And it says many of the rights that the founders enumerated protect small groups from the power of the majority. For instance, those who would say or publish unpopular statements or practice unpopular religions or hold more property than others. James Madison, a principal architect of the U.S. Constitution and the drafter of the Bill of Rights, was an intellectual and landowner who saw the two as strongly linked. At the Constitutional Convention of 1787, Madison expressed the prevailing view that the freeholders of the country would be the safest depositories of the Republican liberty. What's up, Greg?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
That is very interesting what you said, because now that I think about it, I do not remember learning about that in history or civics class.
Well, no, I mean there is no right. We have all these things. We have all these uh, things in the Bill of Rights in the Constitution that say, hey, everyone has a right to vote, but the actual right to vote is not in the Constitution.
Huh.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. And yet, the last time I've actually read the whole Constitution when I was doing a report on it in school. So I don't. All I know is their judicial branch and executive, legislative. That's it.
Yeah, the Constitution created the judicial branch too. So
Yeah.
and I think the Constitution also created the National Guard. I believe. I'm pretty sure, yeah. The National Guard was created through the Constitution. It's just one of those things. What's up, Carl?
Oh, nothing. Happy to be here.
Yeah. All right, so meaning only people who own land debt free without mortgages would be able to vote. These were our founding fathers that did this sort of thing. The Constitution left voting rules to individual states, which had long-standing laws limiting the vote to those freeholders. So they definitely did need the provisions in there to allow people to vote. To allow everyone has a right to vote. Everyone has the right to vote. Then they added women in and African Americans in and all these people. And but again, still there is nothing that says you technically have the right to vote. Now I believe it is written in a lot of state constitutions, but not in our national constitution. This is really just interesting things when you think about it.
Like, I don't know how it is with other states, but if you're a felon in the state of Connecticut, you can't vote.
Yeah. No, people evolved. The Constitution was our beginning, and nation was left open to change, mimic going forward. My point is that this whole big thinking of how they were such the founding fathers were they're one of the greatest not nations, but one of the greatest points in our history when they were actually pretty freaking not stuck up, but they're pretty one directional in thinking. They wanted to keep the ruling class on top, which I guess is true in every point. But yeah, we did evolve and things did change. But my point is, it's very interesting that we consider ourselves we have a right to vote, but technically we don't really have a right to vote that's protected by the Constitution. That's my point, free thinker. And you're more than welcome to come on up and talk about it. If you have an issue with what I'm saying or what is being said here, more than welcome to debate it. No issues. No issues there, dude. Come on up. What's up, Randy?
I'm about to say, if you guys debate it, I'll just sit still because, like I said, that was a long time ago. I know our basic rights.
Here we go. In the debates over the ratification of the Constitution, Madison trumpeted a benefit of the new system, the total exclusion of the people in their collective capacity. That is something you would think a tyrant would say, right? That's something more you would, the total exclusion of the people in their collective capacity. It's because they feared the people. Now, weren't there a lot of, like, you see a lot of quotes, auditors say this a lot. If the government fears the people, then that's justice. If the government, that whole saying, what Benjamin Franklin said, right? But then you're looking at the framers of the Constitution, and in this point, you're seeing there's definitely some debate on each side had their own opinion and all that. And then my question is, I wonder if Benjamin Franklin was one of those people that wanted to put the right to vote in the Constitution, or was he against it? I'm curious. Yeah, okay, yeah, free thinker, you get it now, yeah. With the handle like free thinker, he'd be. Oh, I thought he'd be good to come on. Yeah, I ain't got no issue with it. But yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, it says the great danger is that the majority may not sufficiently respect the rights of the minority, and I think that is extremely true. Because you have this because if you get the wrong idea going, it just sparks and it keeps going and it just runs downhill. So I get what they were thinking about when they did that, but I don't know. I think it gets it goes away from what I always assumed were the founding principles of our nation. And to come to find out that they didn't put it in there because they didn't trust the people, well, isn't that kind of like, it gets the same thing that they had in Britain. Like, they didn't have any representation, but they got taxed. They come here, people here, unless you're a landowner, you don't have any representation either.
It's kind of hypocritical.
Exactly. That's my point being in this. It's like it's just really interesting. So are you saying electoral college versus every vote count? I don't know if I'm saying that. I was just article just really sparked my interest. Like I had no idea that this was even a thing, and it was one of the things I never thought about. I never thought of. Always, you always have this thing. Everyone has this feeling we have the right to vote, right? But it's not on paper anywhere, unless like in state constitutions, I believe. But in our national constitution, in the Bill of Rights, right to vote is not there. It's just interesting. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah. A lot, because I just learned a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly, my state's constitution, but I'm pretty sure it was always there. But like you said, it's probably for landowners, not just for the average American at the time. I think we should update the Constitution a little bit.
Well, no, I don't think we should update it. I think that's dangerous. I think that would be dangerous to update it. I just think it needs to be, I don't know. At this point, would it really even matter if they actually put in the Constitution that we have the right to vote? I mean, I don't think it would change anything. Just because it's not there in writing, I don't think we're going to lose that right just because it's not in the Constitution, you know? I highly doubt that we're going to lose it because of that. So I don't think it really needs to I don't know. It's just one of those things, you know? It's interesting. It's just an interesting way to look at how, you know, like Free Thinker was saying, how things have changed throughout our history. Uh, the prevailing opinions of the government, you know, and it kind of seems like from the very start, the government didn't trust the people. And you can see that going through history that government really has an issue with trusting the people still. You know, as you can see all these talks of voter fraud and all this stuff. The government doesn't trust us to make the right decision unless we're wealthy landowners, or now I guess you could say more big business. You know.
Mm. But it's ironic because what is we all from Josh Abrams tattoo on his arm. We the people.
Mm-hmm. Free Thinker, you don't have to download any app. You just got to click on the link, and as long as you have, if you're on a laptop or your phone, there's no laptop, there's nothing to download. Click the link, and you're good. And then follow instructions. No download necessary. Just so you know.
Free Thinker, I'm on my phone right now.
Yeah, no one's downloaded anything to get on here. I didn't even download anything to broadcast this. It's all online. That's what I like about StreamYard. You don't got to download anything. It's always nice.
See, I never heard of StreamYard until I got somehow sucked into this community. I don't even know how I got into it, but yeah, I never heard of StreamYard until I came onto this community. So
yeah. It's just, what do you all this, Carl?
Well, the other thing that I have to point out is Josh's tattoo says "We the people."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the hell that's got screwed up, but I sure would glad it did.
Well, yeah. Think about it. I mean, when everyone left Britain and they wanted to, you know, get away from the British rule, there were a lot of people that stayed in Britain. Like, well, we don't really have an issue with all this. There's a few people. There's a select few people that decided to leave and, you know, start this experiment that we have here. What's up, Extortion Watchers?
Hey.
Hi, Extortion Watchers.
Hey, man.
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you? Oh, 1 second. There you go.
Yeah, I want to go ahead.
Like, no, I was gonna say I wanna hear like an auditor on his thoughts about all this and everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, well, there's no argument that it's not in the Constitution now. Now they might argue that, you know, I guess they could try and argue that, you know, maybe I'm wrong in some of the things I'm thinking, which is, you know, fine. That's what a debate's for. It's what we're there for. It's not an issue. I actually would like to hear some. Well, let's take a vote in the everyone in panel right now. Everyone on. Do you guys agree with the founding fathers in thinking that people cannot be trusted, and it was a good idea for them not to include the right to vote, or do you think that should have been one of the things that they included in our Bill of Rights, the right to vote, since their big thing was, you know, no taxation without representation, and yet they're not then they're making it to where not everyone can be represented or vote for who they want to be in. What do you guys think? Greg, what do you think? Do you think it was a good idea for them to exclude it, or do you think it should have been included?
It should have been included, but you got to think about the times too, where slavery was very much part of normal life and everything. But if you have the right to vote, they should put it in the Bill of Rights.
Well, this
I'm
was
surprised
before.
that they haven't.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I'm surprised they haven't included it.
Yeah. What about you,
know.
Expression Watchers? What do you think?
What about the Constitution were you meaning?
We're talking about how the right to vote is not in the Constitution. Yet there's all kinds of stuff stipulating you do have a right to vote, and it can't be, there's all kinds of stuff added to where like everyone has a right to vote. You can't say people can't vote because of their race, religion, creed, whatever. And then you have the women's right to vote. But there is no specific amendment that gives us the right to vote. There's a bunch of stuff in there to protect the right to vote, but there is no right to vote in the Constitution.
Yeah, I haven't really nothing to say about that. I mean, I don't know much about that. I always thought it was in the Constitution somewhere.
You would think, right, with all this stuff that's all going on to protect it, it's not in the Constitution. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, if it's a right, if they say it's a right, then I guess at least we have that right.
Well, yeah. And were you here when I explained why they said they didn't put it in?
No, I wasn't.
Well, they said they didn't put it in. It's because they didn't trust the people to pretty much make the right decision.
Are you
the
serious?
majority. I kid you not. These are the founding fathers. Their original envision for voting was landowners who are debt free were the only ones that are going to be able to vote. Now, what did they leave Britain for? That kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
And they come here and do it. Just learn behavior. They just pretty much took what they learned from Britain and evolved it here. Luckily, we've evolved and the country has changed and we're different and we've come a long way from there. But it's just amazing to see they left Britain to get away from British rule and all the crap that they didn't like there, and yet they came in and still wanted to protect the wealthy and keep the everyday man, the everyday Joe down.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
It is very interesting.
It's exactly when the Constitution was written out, all people could vote. Exactly, Dave Peterson, and that's what we're talking about right now. I thought there were whole existences protecting the Constitution and our rights. Yeah, so like it's just one of those. I don't know. When I read the article, I was like, I never really thought about that. That yeah, it's not there, but protecting it is definitely in there. So it was more of like it's one of those unwritten rights.
Is there any other unwritten rights we have? Do you know?
Well, according to soft citizens and Moorish people, you have the right to travel. Oh, and then there's a misinterpreted one where the right to what is it? Happiness. It's actually a pursuit of happiness, not you have the right to be happy. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's a misconception. There's a few misconceptions. Yeah, that's the only one I really heard of that I thought was worth talking about. Because I thought that was interesting to see how things started out and how much things have evolved. Now it's like it's almost but it's almost like if you think about it, when you talk to some people where we have all these people are worried about voter fraud and all this stuff that's going on. What's up, Mrs. J?
Oh, not much. Just
a lot of people might even think that they're trying to go back to that by taking control of the government, and with all this voter fraud going on, some people might argue that they're trying to re-implement more controls over how we vote, who gets elected, and all that. It's hard to argue with some of that. Yes, voting was tied to land ownership. Absolutely, man. And that was it's just one of those things. It was stupid. It's just amazing how that's how they had it. In Britain, I don't think you could personally own land as a poor person, but in America, you are guaranteed land. Yeah, yeah. That's why a lot of people moved here because they're guaranteed land.
That's why everybody moved here. Guaranteed land. I didn't even know that.
Well, there was some guaranteed land for a while there.
Oh.
I have to be honest with you. I watched a stream with Chuck this morning, and he was watching a stream of Devon Rayford. And if you don't know who that is, Devon Bay. God, I hate saying that. But and that killed pretty much all but a small cluster of brain cells.
Yeah. So what are some other things maybe that you guys can think of, that some rights that maybe we don't have that maybe you feel we should have? Can anybody think of any rights that we don't have that maybe we should? Greg, can you?
The right to smoke weed because the Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper.
Okay. All right. All right. There we go. Carl?
No, it's true.
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Source and watchers?
Well, I was just thinking. I can't think right now. I was thinking. Come back real quick.
Okay.
My turn.
Yes.
Slap Josh Abrams whenever we want.
Yes.
Okay. Let's explore that a little bit. So you couldn't have it specifically for Josh Abrams, right? It would have to be you can perform violence on people. Okay. Well, that means they'll be able to perform violence on you too. So it wouldn't just be so Josh will be able to come
with a good reason. You've got to have a reason.
Okay.
I mean, you have Josh walking up to some innocent person, sticking a camera in their face. You ask them to nicely not film you. Don't escalate the situation. Just say, please, could you not film me? And he goes into his spiel like, you don't have the right to privacy in public. Bam! Just nail him.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go. Do you guys feel that there should be a right to privacy in public? Is that something that you think could be added and would be a good thing, or no?
And why not? Why not have a right to privacy?
Okay.
I mean, what is the big deal for having no right to privacy? Okay. You are supposedly supposed to be in charge of your own body, your own person, whatever. Then why can't you have a right to privacy?
Okay. Right. I agree with Fizzy to a certain degree. I think, like, if you, I agree that maybe it should be to a certain degree. Social Walkers, what do you think?
Well, I agree with the right to privacy, but more of in jail. Because when I was in jail, what they did is they forced me to say my social security number out loud, my full social, in front of 6 different inmates. Okay, so I think there should be some type of right to privacy, because who knows if, they grabbed my social security number, ran off with it, like, I just think that was bullcrap that, I had to do that, just say it in front of people. Like, I didn't want to say my social in front of people, but.
Right.
So I think there should be.
Okay. I kind of agree with you on that one, but also remember when you're in prison, you do lose a lot of your rights. You don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. I think that's the thing with that. But yeah, your social. I don't know why did you have to say your social security number out loud? I don't understand why they made you do that.
I don't know, and I tried researching on it and everything to see if that's even legal for them to do that, but I couldn't find anything illegal. There was nothing on the internet about it, so It's like I can't just go sue, blindly. So, it's just
Do you
like,
mind?
cool.
Do you mind sharing the whole story about what happened? Like what was the lead up to it?
Yeah. Well, it was in June of this year. I got arrested for a curfew violation for being out past a certain time for the protests. And they took me into the jail and they held me in a cell. I mean, they didn't even book me in for 16 hours. My booking photo was taken at 11 a.m. the next day. But yeah, basically they just brought me in the jail and held me in a cell there. And then when we got into the booking room where they did the booking, we all were sitting on the bench. They were so crowded, there's 30 people in cells. I was sitting on the bench and they called me up and said, say your social security number out loud. And I just didn't feel comfortable. I said, do I have to do it? And they said, yes, you have to say your social security number to us. And I said, the full one, can I write it? And they said, no, just say it. And so I said my social security number. I didn't have another choice. I mean, I felt like, I was just going to up the process of me getting out of there if I didn't. So it's like, but yeah,
That's
that's why I
really
was
weird.
arrested.
That's really weird, though.
It was. I never went through it before when I was in jail. It's the thing. That's the first time I ever went through that. I was just like, wow.
Hold on. Someone said, in my opinion, this station is to get off Josh and other a-holes and discuss some more relevant issues. Is it mainly auditor focused? It's frauditor focused. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling out the frauditors for doing their stupid crap and also other constitutional type issues like we're talking about today. That answers that question. In seriousness, right to privacy for domestic violence victims, sex crime victims, and children's services locations. I agree. I totally agree with that. Now here's the thing. What do you guys think about this right to film children in public? I'm I'm of the opinion that they shouldn't show their faces. I mean, because that could be dangerous, in my opinion, especially with all the sickos out there.
Well, Kenny, I
Agreed.
agree. I agree, but at the same time, um, like, if you accidentally get them on camera, like if you're moving your camera to the right and it just happens to catch a kid, that I find okay. But like when you're intentionally filming them just to be an auditor or something like that, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, like Ian McGuire. That's what
Okay,
he would do. He would
you
intentionally
say it
film
would
kids.
be okay if you accidentally. Are you game for blurring their faces out?
Yeah, yeah, blur their faces out. That's fair.
Yeah, totally agree. But other than that, the right to privacy, yeah, to me, I think it depends on situation. It depends on each situation. Obviously, if you're out at, let's say, Great America, there's no way in hell you think you should expect any kind of privacy whatsoever. If you're out on the middle of Broadway and Main Street in any town USA, no, you shouldn't have to worry about you should not expect any privacy. There's certain instances where you shouldn't expect privacy in public, but maybe in certain situations, like a police officer who is talking to investigating a crime, they don't want certain information to get out there. I think that there should be some sort of right to privacy in that one. When anyone
Well,
is asked to
that's why I
divulge their
film from a
personal
distance.
and
Film it
anyone
from a
that's
distance.
yeah, and anyone has to divulge any kind of personal information, um, I think it would be the right thing for people to just kind of like, okay, we're not going to tell them their personal. We're not going to let their personal information get out there on uh, the interwebs or wherever they're going to put it.
Yeah, me, I'm always close enough to get audio, but at the same time, I don't really put anybody's personal names in there or anything. Date of birth. I always take that stuff out.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, a lot of times you can't get close enough to get that information. But I think one more thing I'm talking about is when when auditors go to DMV or someplace, and You know, like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
we have you get this kind of information. Well, you need to hide it. Well, why would you want to put that information out there?
They shouldn't be allowed in those kind of places because there's that information. That
Well,
is not public. That is
well,
not public.
I wouldn't say they wouldn't be allowed to go there, but there should be some limitations to what they can show. You know, um, when
Well,
they talk about how, you know, the camera is an extension of themselves, okay, that's true. It is, but the camera can also zoom in on certain things from a distance that your eye wouldn't be able to see normally without any kind of enhancement or anything. So that should be taken into account as well, I feel.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the right to privacy is important in like DMV or something. I mean, I just don't want my personal information out there myself.
Places where there's personal information, like the DMV or city halls, courts, they should not be allowed to film. There's that is not public. That is not public. Period. It's just not.
No.
It's where private information is, and you don't create your privacy in a place like that. Some places can, some places can't. It's just not right.
And then the thing is, a lot of them claim to be media, right? They claim, but think about it this way: if a media ever got a hold of anyone's personal information, they usually blur it out, or they wouldn't put it in their footage. And not because, and even though like these other auditors, they don't have to, but the media does it because you know they have ethics, and that's the difference between um, the press and the
Wannabes.
citizen journalists and the citizen press. The press have ethics; they hold true to these ethics, whereas to citizen um, journalists don't have these ethics. They feel that they can do whatever they want as long as it's within the law. Which yes, they can, but it doesn't necessarily make it right. And they don't have any ethics, and they believe they don't have to have ethics because the law is on their side.
Well, maybe we need to change the um, definition of press. Because
Oh
let's
no,
face it, folks, there were no cameras and cell phones when the Constitution was written.
No.
no, but I mean,
They went
you
around with a
know,
notebook.
but at the same time, like you don't need any credentials to be press. You know, there's a lot of people think, you know, a lot of people say, well, you think you're press, but you don't have any credentials. No, doesn't make them press, but uh, they're to me, they're not pressed, not because they don't have a badge. They're not pressed to me because they don't follow the same ethical guidelines that the media, normal media does. I'm sorry, not the normal. I'm sorry, the uh, media at large does. They don't follow those ethics at all. They have their own set of ethics.
Well, then it should be written down someplace. You want to consider yourself press, you have to follow this, this, and this.
Well, thank you,
Otherwise,
Billy
you're not
Sanders.
press.
Yeah, I guess we could do that, but I think I don't know because then I don't know because ethics is like the press necessarily doesn't have to follow. I mean, in order to be in good standing with whatever press agency they signed up for and got their license from, they have to. But just because they don't, let's take Alex Jones for instance. Do you think
Oh
he really
God.
has that? Does he have the ethics of a press guy? But he's still considered press, right?
I think he's a lunatic, but yeah.
He's a
It's like,
lunatic, period.
Yeah.
And I would not consider him press.
but he isn't.
I mean,
He definitely.
no. Well, right there is why we need some sort of guidelines written down.
But
Because
then
he's
again,
just fucking crazy.
But then again, at the same time, you won't see. I'm pretty sure you won't see Alex Jones going out there giving out personal information either. You know, like some of these auditors, you won't see Alex. As crazy as Alex Jones is, he still has enough ethics, I believe, to go that far. You know what I mean?
That's because his ass has been sued before.
and might have.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, because he says Sandy Hook was an inside job.
Oh, I saw that crap. That was that was interesting. That was quite interesting.
That's not
Yeah.
press. That statement right there alone, which he made
Well,
vigorously,
still,
that's not
it's still
press. It's
no, it's
bullshit.
still press. It's still press. It's bullshit, but it's
How
still
is
press.
it press? It's not
National, the National
real.
It's
Enquirer, the
press.
National Enquirer is too, but nothing on that magazine is real either, right?
yeah.
I mean,
I don't
yes, we
consider
get.
that shit press either.
Well, it still is. I understand you don't consider it, but it is. Unfortunately, I mean, um,
When you get into something like that, you're talking mostly about a celebrity, someone with uh, celebrity status, I guess.
Mhm.
Someone that's in the public eye.
Yeah.
Those people immediately give up their rights to privacy. That's just the nature of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, absolutely. But yeah, mostly they get filmed in public, though, right? Most of the celebrity pictures are when they're out in public or doing something like that. Sometimes they'll get like a leaked iCloud photo, or they'll scale a fence to get the right shot, sort of thing, to invade the privacy of these people. Um, but for the most part, they're pretty much the photographers are pretty much doing exactly what the auditors do. They're taking pictures of celebrities, people of interest, um, and putting it out on the internet.
Well, if they got money, they should put electric fences. That's what I would do.
Right?
That's what I would do.
Yes, you're right. Yes, but even Alex Jones deserves freedom of speech. Once they start censoring anyone, they are coming for you next. Slippery. No, agreed. I know. I'm totally with you on that one. Alex Jones does deserve free speech. He's able to do what he wants and say what he wants. As long as he's not making anything horrible. What's this? This is Ryan's future. Oh, this is Sean.
But
What's
he's
up,
not
Sean?
press.
Hello.
He can say whatever he
Hey,
wants, but he's not press.
hey, Sean.
Hello, everyone.
So
Hi,
Major
Sean.
says the Constitution guarees a free press, not freedom of press. Is there a difference? What do you guys think? Greg, do you think there's a difference between a free press and the freedom of the press?
That's a tricky one. Can you come back to me?
All right. What about you, Carl?
I would have to say yes.
What do you?
Because if there wasn't a difference, they would say the same thing.
Yeah. Social watchers.
It does say freedom of the press. It says it right here. It says
No, it's free press.
no, it says abridging freedom of speech or of the press. So it's saying freedom of speech or freedom of press. All right.
No. Free press and freedom of the press.
Are you sure it doesn't say that? Because right here, I just Googled it, the First Amendment, and it says, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. So that means freedom of the press, too, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay, hold on.
I'm pretty sure.
I believe you. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Respecting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech of the press. Yeah, free press.
Freedom of press, because they're using freedom of for that and then or of the press. So they're using freedom of the press
But
also.
okay, but do you believe there's a difference between the two, a free press and freedom of the press?
No, there's no difference. Because a
Okay.
free press means, they're free. I mean, am I
Mrs.
wrong?
J? Mrs. J?
Jeez. Is freedom of the press and free press the same thing?
Yeah, what's the difference between the two? Yeah. If they're not the same thing, what's the difference?
No, I really don't think there's a difference.
Okay. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I don't think there's a difference. I mean, you have freedom of the press, but there are consequences for that freedom if you continually print false information or cut corners. You will get called on it. There's the infamous the New Yorker magazine guy a few years ago. His last name is Glass. They found every one of his articles was fabricated. And then in the last few years, that article in Rolling Stone magazine about a rape on the University of Virginia campus that never happened. So you have freedom of the press, but with it comes responsibility.
Absolutely.
But at least you won't get locked up in prison like they do in other countries because they don't like what you say.
Right.
I'm sure Trump would love
Absolutely.
to, but you can't do it.
Oh, a lot of people would, not just Trump. A lot of people would.
Oh.
I mean, come on. let's be
Really,
fair.
Really, the biggest bully of the press ever was Nixon.
Oh yeah. See,
Nixon was a lot more of a bully. Yeah. See, I'm 59, so I remember Nixon very well.
Okay. Consequence, tell that to MSM. Well, okay. Well, what has MSM done that they haven't had consequences for free thinking? And a lot of times they do have consequences. For the most part.
There's so
any
much
difference.
fake news out now. Fake or twisted, and I don't blame Trump for putting down the press because, it's just ridiculous. I don't even watch the news anymore. I just can't.
Well, we have a couple of situations. I mean, we have the thing in Kenosha. Do we even have the full story yet? Or we just have a rush to judgment? Did he have a knife? If he did, then the press is not doing their job saying, oh, we know exactly what happened. Do you? Do you really?
If you look at the picture, it's not a knife. It's not a knife if you look at the picture.
You don't think he has anything in his hand?
Well, he has something in his hands. That's definitely not a knife. It looks like it's curved. I mean, it just doesn't even look like a knife. And he opens the door with that same hand.
Okay. And then this guy at CNN, Stelter, he just wrote a book about Fox News. Oh, geez, how objective is that going to get? And they have the nerve to sit there. Well, we're fair and objective. No, you're not. Used to be known as the Clinton News Network.
Have any of you ever watched a YouTube channel called The Conservative Twins?
Yeah, I don't.
I love them. I love them very much because at least they're different.
No, I don't.
You don't like them, Kenny?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like a whole lot of YouTube stuff because to me, a lot of them are. To be fair, I don't like a lot of liberal crap. I just feel each one has their agenda,
yes,
and they
each
push
one
their
has
agenda.
each one has their merits, but
yeah. So I just don't. I don't like either conservative or liberal one. I'm not
for these guys. Unfortunately, these guys are usually spot on.
I guess it depends on what you think of spot on. I've seen some of their stuff that I didn't agree with. I mean,
well, I could say the same thing about the Young Turks because I watched
exactly. I've seen the Young I've seen them be wrong on many occasions as well. It's like I try to stay away from those because unfortunately they're all like I said, they all have their own agenda. They're all blast their opinion one way or the other. They don't look at it in a fair light. They're looking at it from their point of view, which is conservative or liberal, and that's the eye they're looking at it. They're not looking at it from a gray area kind of way. And that's what I try to look for.
I think it's harder for a black conservative to get traction because they're not supposed to be conservative in many people's minds.
True.
Dr. Thomas Sowell, who's a brilliant writer, I don't always agree with him, but he's a very fine writer. The conservative twins, Chief Tatum, who's black. Jason Whitlock, who is coming more and more against BLM and other things, is black. But they'll be called Uncle Toms, and you're stupid. You don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, I agree because, like I said, there's a lot of things that Trump says that I agree with, and there's some things that I don't agree with Trump says. There's some things I agree with Biden.
Yeah.
And stuff I agree with Biden. There's stuff I don't agree with Biden. It just depends on. To me, it depends on each subject and each. I form my own opinion. I don't just go off of conservative or liberal on each opinion. I form my own opinion on each subject, which is why I always find it so hard to find someone to vote for because
I'll give you a good newscast. It's on the internet. It's called The Hill. It has one conservative and one liberal, but they crisscross on issues sometimes. It's really good. No yelling, no screaming.
That's always nice.
Yeah. And her name, I love her name. Her name is truly Crystal Ball.
Oh,
Sound like a stripper name.
With a K. Yeah, that's really her name.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it's she's the more left and he's the more right, but it's both tend to go towards center. So
I want to check that out now.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Yeah, I agree with Mei Chong here. The Young Turks, CNN, Maddow, that Lemon guy, Don can all make the creation of
Lemon is
5
a
million
joke.
jobs as a Trump failure, which is not a failure. I totally agree that that was a good thing that Trump did. It's exactly. Networks do not report the news. They put their own spin to what has happened and make it fit their agenda. Absolutely. That goes for every single network out there. For every one thing that CNN finds that Trump did wrong, Fox can find 2 or 3 things that he did right, and vice versa.
Yeah, well, that's why the only things I watch on Fox are Brit Hume, Brett Baer, and Chris Wallace.
I like Cavuto.
I like Cavuto also. Yes, Cavuto has taken Trump to task more than once.
Yes.
Directly into the camera. I don't work for you. I don't know why you think I do.
Yes.
That's why Shepard Smith quit. He had it.
Yeah. I actually like Shepard Smith. He was good.
I love Shepard Smith.
Yeah.
But he'd had it.
Yeah, agreed. But he would take Trump to task too. He didn't just cowtail to him, which I thought was excellent. And I think that's great about Fox News. I don't think CNN has a strong a strong conservative voice as an anchor on their show.
They didn't have a moderate.
Yeah.
See, where Hannity started going off is when Combs went solo. When it was Hannity and Combs, it was a balanced show. It was a good show because they checked each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of Hannity. I think Hannity's just
it's just an hour-long cheerleading thing. I don't watch
it like that. Absolutely. That's all it is.
Yeah, and so I don't watch it. Yeah. You don't learn anything just hearing the same thing over and over as they speak to their people. Nothing's learned.
But one thing I will say, he will give the liberals a chance to talk on his show, right? At least more of a version. At least I give him a little bit more respect than I give what's his face. What's the dude that used to wear the bow tie? Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson.
Tucker goes back and forth. You never know. Tucker can go and be straight up good newsman, and then he can drink the Kool-Aid again and go right.
See, my issue with Tucker Carlson is he will have moderates and Democrats on his show, but he will always get the ones that count out arguing. So he wins in the end every single time.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't do any good for anybody, but
no. That's my favorite topic.
I guess in the Sunday morning shows, I love when Chris Wallace basically told Trump, "You don't have any backup here." I don't know where you're going, but you don't have anything.
Yeah, but I think CNN can learn something from Fox News on that. They need to get some more conservative voices on their channel to at least, make it look like you're trying to be fair and balanced. You know what I mean?
Wallace is not a conservative, or he's the son of Mike Wallace. He learned how to be a newsman. Fred Hume's a newsman. He might lean right, but he's going to be fair and balanced in his, because that's what he has been.
Mm.
And she dropped out again. Her phone is just.
To you guys, who are some in this day? Someone just said about Walter Cronkite said someone you could take his name back in the day. Are there any of those newsmen left, or newsmen or women? Are there any? If you can think of one, who and why?
I can't say Dan Rather because he went. He lost his job because he went on a vendetta. I don't think there is. I think I think Lester Holt at NBC does a really good job. I remember when I lived outside Chicago, he was local then. He did a fine job there too.
Mhm. Okay. Greg, what do you think?
I don't really watch any of those people because I don't even know what news is because it's either one side or some other side or it's made up. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. Carl?
Oh, I don't watch the news. Number one, I don't have TV. Well, I do have a TV. I don't have I don't have a cable satellite. I have an Xbox.
Okay. What about you, extortion watchers? Oh,
Uh,
you don't have a TV, right? That's right. You don't have
yeah, I
a
was just gonna say.
TV. Totally forgot about that. You don't have a TV. Well, what about for your you watch news on YouTube? Yeah.
Yeah,
Who do you like
James Freeman
for
for news.
news?
Yeah, for news.
Really?
Yeah, he does reporting. He does reporting sometimes. He doesn't always do audits on his lives.
Okay, but okay, away from the 1A community type news
Okay.
though. You know, like
No, I
news
don't know
news.
anybody on YouTube away from that. I mean, yeah, I don't know no journalists like legit,
Okay. Yeah, 60 Minutes was good back in the day. It was a good
Oh
show.
God, was it ever? I mean, the worst thing you could hear in your life. Mr. Wallace is here to see you. Jump out the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
But see, they're all
Um,
gone. Obviously, they've all passed on. They have good reporters now, but that was really the old news guys.
Dateline was pretty good too.
Dateline was good. When you know how it originally started, right?
No.
The Iran hostage crisis,
Oh wow.
and that's when they first started coming on every night. Where basically it was about the hostage crisis, and then the show picked up a little steam. And once the hostages came home, Ted Koppel kept the show going. They were the only news program dedicated to that every night. Once they realized that this was a long haul thing, not a short one.
What do you mean? Can you hear a
somebody's
call to
dog has
prayers?
been
What are you guys talking about? A call to prayers? There's a lot of background noise
by
because someone's
Muslim.
doing some laundry work. I mean, outdoor work or whatever. Let's see. Both sides are owned by the same money people, orchestrated to pit 99% against each other. So we keep fighting each other and don't unite against. Yeah, they are both. Each side definitely has its own agenda. That's for sure, free thinker.
Well, Fox is the fractured thing because their news is separate from their entertainment, which is separate from their sports. So I'm not really sure who owns Fox right now.
Oh, Disney.
Disney owns the entertainment. I think they own the sports. I don't think they own the
Yeah.
news.
No, they don't own the sports. They can't own the sports because it created a monopoly because they own
Because they have
ESPN.
ESPN and
Yeah.
ABC. That's why they probably can't have the news either because ABC's got news.
Yes, it's a good point. And so, don't they own CNN too?
Who?
Doesn't Disney own CNN?
I don't think so because that once again that'd be a monopoly with ABC.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who has CNN now because I know when Turner started selling assets in the 90s because he was going to buy CBS and fire everybody there when he started going nuts. And I remember this because he owned the Atlanta Braves and they were very successful. But he sold them off to Time Warner.
Yeah.
Disaster. Oh, I'll never forgive Ted for that.
Yeah, I remember the Braves were like the team back in the 90s.
Well, and here's the thing. They didn't have any holdouts. They didn't have any issues. Greg Maddox walked in and said, I want this much money. He said, okay, Greg, you're good. It was never an issue. Ted just said, pay them.
Yeah.
He got too
Well, that's-
spread out, but he lost his wrestling empire. That went down the tubes.
Well, it wasn't necessarily his fault. He lost a wrestling empire. There was a lot of other crap that went involved in that.
Well, he hired the wrong people. He let somebody like an Eric Bischoff run around writing checks to older stars, and then
Yeah.
once WWF,
Oh yeah.
now WWE hit the attitude era. Once they got, once Steve Austin started rolling, and you got The Rock and all the others, WCW didn't have anything to compete with that.
No, nothing at all. They had all the old wash-up stars of the 80s.
Oh, that's about right too. Yeah, it is exactly what it was. And I wish some of these guys would quit embarrassing themselves. Like, please, Ric Flair, don't go on TV anymore.
He really does need to stop. He's gonna have a heart attack. He's gonna have a heart attack live on TV. I can see it.
Well, see, and when somebody like Sting said he retired, he did. He said he's not going back in the ring. He guaranteed he's not going back. But Shawn Michaels came back and he said he wouldn't.
Yeah,
they get these
absolutely.
big paychecks.
All right, so Paul Kent says mainstream media failed in the days of William Hearst and just got worse.
Who's William Hearst?
Yeah, I don't remember too much about William Hearst.
William Hearst was like when the first big, it was HEARST. He was one of the first newspaper tycoons. Many, many years later, his great-granddaughter, Patricia, was the one who was kidnapped by the Sudanese Liberation Army.
Patty Hearst, yes.
But at that time, Randolph Hearst was, I think he owned the San Francisco Chronicle, among other things. And once again, Patty Hearst was in my lifetime, and I remember it very well. And to this day, we still don't know what really happened.
Right, absolutely.
Was this all set up? Was it, she seems to have gone on with her life and doing okay.
Wow, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But let's see, for me, news organizations I really like. Not really any news organization in particular. I guess it's more shows. Like I like Cavuto's show. I think he does a good job. I'll watch Tucker Carlson just to get pissed off. I used to listen to Hannity's radio show. I used to listen to that back in the day. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, she's
on
I used to listen Fox to it. Business now.
Yeah.
That's
I like Kennedy. I like Kennedy too. Kennedy's pretty good. I do like Kennedy.
She went from being on MTV to where now as a big time anchor on Fox Business. That's incredible. She's probably the most accomplished out of all of them.
Oh, the MTV people? Yeah.
Yeah.
More likely, yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Have we seen Downtown Julie Brown in a while?
No, not at all. The best news channels are on YouTube. So what are some good news channels that you like then, free thinkers?
The Hill is one I come up with.
Does the panel think woke politics is destroying?
I think the NBA is making a mistake.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like I said, I want to see if somebody wear a jersey that says Hong Kong lives matter after that fiasco last year.
Yeah. With the election coming up, all news networks should be made to run political ads for free.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely agree with that.
Like
that way, everyone can get out there, not just Biden or Trump. Everyone can get out there.
I like that.
That's a great idea. I also think that we should have, and I'd be willing to pay taxes for this personally, if they had like a tax for just a big pool of money that maybe some of the smaller like loans that a candidate could get to run for office, and maybe put a cap on spending for each candidate.
Well, that's what they have to get away from these, the super PACs. If we can ever get back to responsible campaign law and finance, that would help.
We got.
They started back with the Swift boat people. They poured all kinds of money in. That was criminal.
Yeah, we need to get away from this two-party system that is just strangling the life out of our politics.
Now, the last time we had a third candidate who actually made inroads was Perot,
right? Yep, Perot.
Well, Nader, to a degree, Nader probably took the election.
Was it here with the Whig
Gore.
Party?
No, Bro was an independent.
Yeah, but when Nader ran, he took just enough votes out of Gore's pocket.
Yeah.
Because
And a lot of
Gore
people
didn't
think
want to talk to him.
Perot took a lot out
hilarious.
too, is from what I hear. That's what people say.
Well, Perot was interesting until he claimed that H.W. Bush was poisoning the water at his daughter's wedding. And it's like, okay, he's gone. Limbaugh used to be great, but now he's gone. He's completely berserk now.
So Pumpkin says Associated Press is about the only one I watch anymore. News wires are less objective but not perfect. So Free Thinker gave us online ones. He says Slow News Day. I've never heard of any of these. Slow News Day, Jamaro Thomas, Richard Medhurst, Action for Assange, to name a few.
Julian Assange, yeah.
Yeah.
I watch like Sky News from Australia occasionally, and different. I like to see because they've got no stake in what we're doing. They're just going to do straight up reporting, and they might.
Right.
I mean, there's different voices I listen to, but it's interesting to hear voices from other countries.
Yeah. Definitely, it definitely is. It's interesting to get their take on the stuff. The other night when I was at work, someone turned on it was a Russian news network. I was like, really? This is interesting. And I watched some of their stuff. It wasn't a lot of it wasn't a whole lot of propaganda, which is nice to see. It was the Americanized version of it, though. So but of course they were strong Trump supporters.
Well, I remember the old Soviet news agency was called TASS, TASS. Government run, government owned. That's the anti-free press.
Last American Vagabond, also great as consortium news. Okay, let's check some of those out for sure. Yeah, all right. So is there any other questions people would like the panel to address here?
Odds that the NBA Finals don't get played.
Why?
Because they'll just go. Because something else will happen, and they'll go on strike again. They're hurting themselves. I think they're really, hey, I want nobody to die.
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point that they're starting to think that they're more important than everybody else's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
like I said, Hong Kong lives matter too.
Me too.
Yeah, they do.
Free Hong Kong.
You're welcome.
Free Hong Kong.
Yes, that was a couple of the biggest snafus of my time. The Hong Kong snafu and give it back to Panama Canal.
So Kenny, if you have Chinese spies, I'm sorry.
Why? Well, why would I have Chinese spies?
I mean, that spy, yeah, because I said free Hong Kong, and they don't really like that, or Taiwan.
No,
okay.
They don't like that at all.
Well, I know I have spies
or Tibet.
I know I have spies for AFA on here. I know there's spies from him.
Oh, it's ridiculous,
right?
They're really
just
getting
the internet. Stop it, kids.
It's not that important. So today we started out talking about how the right to vote is not in the Constitution, but then it's kind of evolved into like politics now. It seems like.
Well, and then with the last amendment to the Constitution, we had the right to vote. Voting age was changed to 18.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of puts it right there. The right to privacy is not expressly said in the Constitution, but the third, fourth, and fifth amendments pretty much give right to privacy.
Yeah.
But you can't quote right to privacy because it does not exist in the Constitution anywhere.
Well, you can't quote the right to vote either because it's not in the Constitution either. No. There's all the stuff that protects it, but there is not just the right to vote.
Wow.
Yeah, just like there's no right to happiness, like some people like to say. No, you're a pursuit of happiness.
Yes. Nobody
The pursuit
promised you
of happiness.
anything.
No,
Yeah,
not
right.
at all.
Get off your butt, go to work.
Absolutely.
You want to make
Could
money?
have said it better myself.
Go to work.
Oh, look who's back. Tim Berry. I guess he's off of his Pabst Blue Ribbon bender. You back,
Oh
Tim?
my god! Oh god!
Tim.
We can't have any
Back,
Pabst
Tim.
Blue Ribbon drinkers.
Ah, the shitty beer drinker.
Oh
Yep.
man! The only thing worse than that is hams. Olympia
Ew.
and Rainier Green Death.
What is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Natural Light.
Oh, Natty Light. Oh my
Oh man!
goodness. Blech.
I mean,
Oh, I love
horrible.
natural. I'll drink Natural Life.
If it's
Why?
ice cold. If it's
No.
ice cold, I'll drink it.
no.
Yeah,
no.
ice cold.
I'll drink it if it's ice cold.
To me, Natural Light's like the Mogan David 2020 of beer. I just don't have any pride left in my life, so I'm gonna drink this. I was taught as a young man never go into a bar and says we proudly serve hams. No, they're not proud. No.
I used to go to this bar that had $1 Pabst Blue Ribbon pint night.
When I worked in Reno from 81 to 88, there was a 4-story casino, no hotel, it's just a casino, the Cal Neva, not the one in Tahoe that was owned by Sinatra. It's just the Cal Neva in Reno, and all domestic beer was 50 cents.
What?
Yeah, so if you're 21, 22, and you get turned loose in this place, it's not a good idea.
Damn.
Yeah, oh yeah, those were the days. I worked swing shift, and you would get home like 6 in the morning and try to sleep it off to go back to work.
Because Jay Pearson says, I have an idea. Require all auditors who say they are press to have liability bond and insurance. I know the major networks have it. Be required to present it to law enforcement when asked.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
I say, ask them, well, what have you published? Where would I see something you've published on your news stories about the post office?
Right. Well, what kind of news association or press or whatever just randomly, unexpectedly goes to a post office
Exactly.
with like everyday people?
And they could probably get away with the filming if it wasn't for the voiceover sometimes, especially with Auditing America.
Oh God!
Oh God!
His voice gets up there and he starts shattering glass. Raccoons screaming in the forest. Oh,
Wow!
Wow!
His voice has to step in and help him.
I'm wondering when he's gonna finally come back. You know he's gonna come back, and will he come back with a vengeance?
I think he's in jail. I really do.
I don't think he's in jail because he's been doing posts.
Not in a while. I haven't seen him on a post office thing in a while.
No, but he posts still to his community tab every once in a while.
Well, that could be Whisk Boy too.
True. Well, he just posted one. He just posted one. He had a conversation with a cop that was talking to him or something. I saw.
Yeah. You can't. There's not one truth you would ever believe from him, would you?
Well, also think about it this way: if he was in jail, don't you think he would be posting his PayPal to get money for his?
But he might not want to admit it. He wears PayPal Pat. He just loves that. It's a badge of honor to be put in jail again.
You guys hear about PayPal Patty?
Yeah, he won 50,000.
And he's like begging again or something. I don't know.
No, he's not begging again. What's he begging for?
More money. I don't know. I thought I saw somebody say that or something. I'm not 100%. I'm like 5% sure, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
I still want a paternity test on the child.
Oh, Comfort Dog. Saturday, we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Scientology founders, not the leader of the Scientology's missing wife. We'll be discussing on Saturday.
Since like 2005.
Yeah, she's been gone for a minute.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, and the police in Los Angeles just don't seem to care.
Yeah. Oh, they don't. No one
Because they're in
cares.
the pocket of David Miscavige. They actually go to his events.
Well, there you go.
You can't have that. That's not doing your job.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
They don't
we can
blue
get-
water now, you know.
No, hopefully we can get Nasty Nathaniel to come on Saturday. He said he would, so we'll see.
Who is that?
Nasty Nathaniel.
Okay.
Cool.
Actually, there's a fake Nasty Nathanial posting videos.
Right.
I've noticed. Except they're like kind of
that's
like
a
what we
fake
do.
one.
They kind of show. Well, they're showing like auditor fails and so auditor pissed off, and you go to click on the video. It's not an auditor. It's just some freaking Karen or some Darren that's complaining about
That's
something.
clickbait, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh God, come on now.
I wonder if Devin's still on right now.
Well, did he go live or something?
This morning, yeah, because he got trolled so bad yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Chuck was running this whole thing. Everybody's panicking. Oh my God, they found out D-Gen is really Josh Abrams.
Oh
Devil's
yeah,
Face.
yeah, I
saw
remember
that.
hearing about that,
Saw
yeah.
that.
Oh, and
Yep.
they played
Yep.
it so beautifully. I had to jump off because I was going to laugh too much.
It was
50. Yeah.
It was 50,000, Aaron. It was 50,000. He got quite a bit of a settlement. We talked about it yesterday too.
He got money.
He got money.
For
He did.
what?
No more
What'd he do?
e-begging. Give some to your kids.
Give some back to your audience. They showed out for you. Shell out for them.
Oh no, he'll
Right.
be bagging again.
No, of course, but you know.
Here, Patty, get a job. You need money? Go get a job, Patty. You're a big boy. Get behind a shovel. You can push it.
So Tim has a theory. Tim says if someone has been banished to some netherworld, if Finney would accept him, he's the new Candyman, saying Samo 3 times into a mirror. I don't know if I want to do that.
No. Well,
No,
I don't want to do that.
I
I
don't.
told you our favorite
Oh,
name
you-
for him
wow.
is he had. Our favorite name we used to have on the other stream program, whose name
Ah.
we not mention, Chuckle Fuck. We're all part of the Chuckle Fuck army.
Yeah, that's what he got. So yeah, he got some money, and we'll see what he does
dear.
with it.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Something's wrong with this world.
Yeah, Freethinker, you're more than welcome to come on and voice your
I don't
opinion anytime you want, man. At least on this channel, you're not going to get a whole lot of flack for your opinion, even if you don't agree with what
Or get
most of the people on here are saying. We're not going to fault you for that, unlike some other channels would. So you're more than welcome to come on and voice your opinion.
Yeah, some channels they just run around wrenching each other.
Oh my goodness, Mike Taylor is one of the worst out there. He
Well,
just like
Well, another one we went
Yeah.
on, and it
He's a
wasn't
tyrant.
even. I was just in the audience posting occasionally on my computer, but 2 people saw me there. Oh, we don't like you. Bye bye. You're out.
oh, pretty much
Yeah, and that's not right. If the host didn't throw you out, you got no reason to.
right. We do.
If it's not
What's
your channel.
up, Kimber? Kimber left and then came back again. We're boring Kimber, so I guess she got bored enough to come back. Everyone say hi, Kimber.
Hi, Kimber.
Hi, Kimber.
Kimber's part of my little
Hi,
10-person
Kimber.
Facebook group.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mom is a jarhead. Comfort doll. See, we all show up for you.
Buy your buddy Josh a
Bye,
bra.
buddy. And we had
Yeah,
to talk
Patty.
about tits. We had to talk about Josh's tits. Thanks.
It never fails, man. It never fails. If Josh is brought up for some reason, the tits have to
18-hour
be
playtext, cross your heart bra.
right? Or get one of those. Or now, do you think he's gonna need one of those Wonder Bras, Miracle Bras?
Not in prison.
No.
He's going to need something else. It's called a plug.
No, they needed a special bra for him.
Oh,
I thought I was
man.
just joking until I saw a profile shot. I said, "Oh my dear Lord!"
So
There's
here's
girls
so,
jealous out there.
so here's a question. We all agree that Josh is in these mods. They're all they're tyrants, right? They're all pretty much just. Now my question is, do you think that they've been around each other long enough that they're all in the same cycle now? Because when
Probably.
women get around each other for a while and get around, they do end up getting the same cycle. So I'm curious, does it work? Would it work for all of his mods too? Are they all on the same
Well,
cycle now?
now Josh hasn't worked with Chucklefuck yet, has he? Have we seen those two together?
Who?
As Elmo.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Kimber, congratulations to your niece. Your niece just had a baby
Cool.
girl. Awesome. Congrats.
I made you a great aunt, right?
Yes.
She probably doesn't want to hear that.
She already was an aunt since her niece had a kid, so she's a great aunt.
She'd be a great aunt, yeah.
Or is it a grand aunt?
No, I think you're a great
Nice.
aunt. I don't think you can be a grand aunt. I think grand is only
Okay.
grandmother and grandfather.
Okay. Now, was it your niece twice removed by marriage and a butcher, or what? This just kill me. Like I still don't understand I still don't understand that. No, I have niece, nephew, cousin, second cousin, third cousin. I don't understand what's the difference. What's the difference between a first cousin and a second cousin?
I don't see
Incest.
any.
There's a lot of people. First cousin's bad. Bad.
Well,
Any
I know,
family
I'm
member
just-
is bad.
Although it's legally marriage in Kentucky,
Well, I'm not surprised.
in Tennessee, and Mississippi.
If I was Puma, I would be pissed. Puma should pay him not to wear their stuff. But he's been wearing a lot of Nike, wearing some Nike stuff too. Lately, he's been doing Nike, and now, hey, and look, guys, now when he wears the same shirt, he can make the excuse that he's advertising his channel, right?
Because nobody else is going to do it.
Right.
Yeah, I can see Josh going to an advertising meeting. What do you do?
Okay.
I call cops tyrants and I yell at people. I tell them they're dismissed. We'll get back to you, Josh.
So second
Ever let him in this building again?
second cousin is the child of your first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. Okay. I got you. That makes sense. Tim, your friend told you? Why did your friend tell you? Because they told you, Tim, that's your second cousin. You can't do that.
Oh,
That's what
Tim,
it was, wasn't
don't
it,
do
Tim?
that.
And in certain parts of extreme southern Utah, northern Arizona, they don't even worry about that part. And that's why, yeah, at least the government's finally doing something.
Yeah.
There is so much around, even here in Salt Lake. If you saw any of those, there was a show that was called Hope After Polygamy. It ran like 3 or 4 years. Now, I've never actually talked to those ladies. They live around here, and I've seen them in public. But it's a bad situation. You get 13, 14-year-old girls getting promised off and married.
So, Kevin said, my cousin's kid calls me aunt. It's a southern thing. Yeah, cool.
Oh.
I'm married and I've been intimate. You kidding? Oh, that's right. I'm getting a divorce.
All right. So, is there anything else anybody would like us to discuss? Got anything, Power Wagon or Comfort, since you're just coming here? Or Free Thinker, you're more than welcome to say something else if you want.
You expect any big sparks tonight from the convention?
In parts of the world, first and second cousins are married regularly. That's true. There are.
God bless America.
Uh-huh. Well, good for them. Keep it in the family.
The royal family can marry cousins. Well, yeah, they are all interwoven in, man. Cleopatra married her own brother.
Yeah.
And it said he had a cleft lip.
Yeah, reptilian people.
How do you know, Kimber? Are you reptilian?
She is.
No.
She's a reptilian spy.
Who was the reptilian lady? Who's the lady who said it had to be Gale? If you've never seen Gail Schuster, go look her up.
Never seen her.
Oh God, she was a staple of our stream at nights. Oh, she's convinced that Brent Spiner's one of her husbands.
Oh wow.
He had to get like a restraining order put on her.
Wow.
Devin told me. Well, then it's gotta be
Oh.
true, right, Kimber? It's gotta be true.
God.
Of course it's true. Devon
You
said it.
can't put
I
anything
believe
that's not true on
everything
the
he
internet.
says.
There's my
The
date. He's
sky-
a French model.
The sky is purple. It's not blue. We have
Well,
all
and here-
been formed.
Oh, did you
Yeah.
hear him say the Generation Nation is Josh Abrams?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, he didn't
So-
say it. That was actually Degeneration Nation. That was too sophisticated for Devin to do. That whole
Yeah.
moon backdrop.
I'm sorry, but what the hell is that noise?
Huh?
That
at
was me
cattle.
feeding the cows.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, there's
I don't have any cows.
That sounds like dinner to me.
call the FBI.
Call whoever, the CIA, whoever.
Who let the cat?
FBI, the
Not a
CIA.
cow. It's like there's like a lawnmower or something going on outside. There's
Okay.
they're doing some work out there.
Oh,
Well, you
good.
should go audit. You should go audit the lawnmower.
Yeah,
Oh,
under
no,
it.
that's okay.
Audit under it. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just see him trying to audit a
Yoda
construction
does
site. That would go well.
Tool collecting Jesus Allah 2020. Oh, there you go. That would be a hell of a freaking combination.
That's right. We got you
Jesus.
covered on both
Right.
sides.
So Jesus would be the president and Allah's running for VP in this scenario, Yoda. It sounds like a moose blower.
Kemba,
been
that's
going at it for a
how I
long
saw it.
Now
Road
it's nice and
Pirate
quiet.
Films.
Oh, Kimber's here. What's up, Kimber?
Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
Kimber.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Kimber.
Hello.
Yeah, so what you got for us?
Now I don't remember. I was back there changing my name, and I don't remember what I was going to say.
Don't remember what to say.
I have the memory of like a fruit fly or something. I mean, something pops into my head and it's gone just that fast.
Just so fruit flies have a notoriously short memory. I know elephants never forgets.
Excuse me while I cough on phone.
Okay.
And I remember seeing this movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie. It's called Killer Whale or Orca. You ever seen Orca?
No.
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
the old one.
No,
Wait,
that
did it-
crazy friggin' orca that would like look out of the water with one eye at the sailor and follow him around, and that freaked me the hell out. I'm like, did Killer Whales remember that long? Or are they that fucking vindictive? Like, holy shit!
I think you just leave them alone. You know, they're bigger than me. I don't want anything to do with them.
Did
Right?
Extortion Watcher say that he saw that?
I think so. As a kid, I think I've seen it when I was like a little kid.
Movie,
Wow. That's like the only movie I've
I
ever
never
heard
heard
you
of
say that
it.
you've seen.
right? Well, hey, George Walters, as a kid, did you ever watch American
American what?
Tail?
No.
The cartoon. Everyone's all silent, so nobody's seen the American Tail with Five.
Five-O?
Yeah, it's Five.
Oh,
the little-
yeah,
That came
yeah.
after I
I've seen
was-
that as a kid.
I was too old by that time it came out.
That was a great movie. And then American Tail
I heard
2,
it was good.
5 Goes West. 5 Goes West. That was a good one.
Yep.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
5 absolutely, Tim.
I saw it as, yeah.
That was a great
Yes.
movie.
That little mouse is a
Oh
genius.
yes, Shaun of the Dead. That's another classic. That's such a
My
great
daughter
movie.
Oh,
loves
yeah.
that. My daughter loves that.
That is
Yeah.
such a great movie.
Yeah.
Or when I was a kid, I really liked The Land Before Time. That was a good one.
Oh, I love
Oh.
Yeah.
that.
I used to have
That
the
was-
VHS tapes.
Wait, Greg? You used to have VHS tapes?
He did.
Yeah.
How old are you again?
I'm 30.
Then why would you have VHS?
I was born in
VHS
1990.
wasn't VHS like gone by 1990?
No,
No?
not even
Oh,
close.
okay. Okay,
Yeah,
my bad. Okay.
DVDs were just kind of.
Coming in.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Absolutely.
There's an
I
article on the
remember
web somewhere.
cassette tapes.
Oh, the
Walkman.
Rescuers. I remember the Rescuers.
Rescuers Down
Oh
Under.
Me
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Nim. That was a good one.
There's a list on the web of movies that are on VHS that never came out on DVD. The original Star Wars, without all the dress up in it, without the changes, you cannot get now.
Okay. So yeah,
The whole
VHS is
trilogy,
gone by.
4, 5, and 6. You can't find them without all the extra stuff now.
Oh no, unless you got like an original copy of it or something.
That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
for sure.
So you can get it on VHS, but you can't get it on DVD ever.
But is it now? But isn't it better? Because I mean, it's better
Well, but-
looking, better
Yeah,
present.
for people don't like things change though. If you saw the movie in 1977 like I did,
That's true.
maybe that's what you remember. You don't want all the extra stuff put in.
True.
It's like I saw the Blues Brothers with the extra footage. It didn't really do anything for it.
The Blues Brothers was the first movie that we ever rented on our brand new VCR. Way back
That movie
when.
over 100 times now at least, along with Smokey and the Bandit.
So Tim says he has the original collection of Star Wars on VHS, and Comfort Doll has the original Star Trek movie on VHS.
I got the trilogy, the first trilogy of Star Wars on VHS with the T8 with like the advanced production on it.
Now, Comfort Doll, what did you think of Star Trek the motion picture? I've seen it, and it is shitty.
The first one's awful.
Oh, God.
It's horrible.
Mystery Science Theater wanted it, and Shatner was all for it, but Roddenberry said no.
Oh, they would have made it so much better.
Oh, he said the movie deserved
Yeah, it
it.
would.
They said he would come and sit and do the show with them.
Yeah, that'd have been.
Oh God, the bald chick. Remember the bald chick?
Yeah.
No.
That movie was just like, it was written by somebody who thought they knew what Star Trek was.
Yeah.
But then Khan came out and all was forgiven.
So Aaron likes the Star Trek classic. Okay. Long Kiss Goodnight with Sam Jackson. That's a great movie too. Almost anything with Sam Jackson's in it. The only thing I didn't like with Sam Jackson was in it was Snakes on a Plane. I thought that was just a shitty movie.
Well,
Oh God!
but it was made that way. It was
No,
supposed to be that
don't
way.
say that.
Over the top.
Yeah. Now, though, there was only one good part of Snakes in a Plane. It was like, all right, enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
I loved it, man. I'm going to get you, sucker.
Yeah, oh God, that's such a
When
great
Chris
movie.
Rock comes in, how much is one rib?
That was such a great movie.
And if you grew up when I did, you understood what they were making fun of. They're making fun of all the old 70s blaxploitation movies.
Yeah, it was. It was man. One of my favorite parts
was great.
One of my favorite parts of that movie was when Superfly, when the pimp guy got out of jail and he's got some goldfish platforms. Yeah. He's walking. He's still thinking he's all cool. Everyone's all laughing at him and shit. Trying to walk faster. They break.
There was a guy who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers in the early 70s, John Frenchie Fuqua, who had those shoes.
Yeah.
I remember them.
Oh, the gold form platform shoes.
Oh my God, the Warriors. Yes, May. I
love that movie. Oh God,
awesome movie.
Awesome. Before you guys get off of Snakes on a Plane, I just want to say something really fast.
Okay.
Alaska Airlines is the only airlines that flies into here. And they overnight here on the late flight, and then it leaves early in the morning. So it's just a very small group of people that fly out of here in the mornings on the early flight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on April Fool's Day. I was flying over to Juneau, and the crew had put out a bunch of plastic snakes. There was only about 10 people on the plane, and they loaded the plane full of plastic snakes. It was so funny. But then they asked us to go ahead and collect up the snakes because, the plane was going to get full and other people might not appreciate it, but it was awesome.
Did it have Samuel Jackson voiceovers?
No, but somebody was on the microphone, quoting lines from the movie, and when they set it up so the snakes would pop out of the trays, and they did a great job. It was awesome.
My favorite Samuel L. Jackson. I have two. A Time to Kill, I think, was really a good movie of Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey because that was a serious one where he wasn't being Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And of course, Pulp Fiction.
Oh, I was gonna say, what about Pulp
Jules
Fiction?
Winfield? I see
Yeah.
some of these auditors. I just want to do a voiceover. Say travel again, or say tired again. I dare you.
Yeah.
I double dare you.
He did a good job in Jackie Brown too. That was a good movie.
Jackie Brown's a forgotten movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
That was like Pam Grier's comeback.
Yes, it was. Great movie.
Oh, it's still a beautiful woman. People forgotten about her.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the Foxy Brown movies.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw those.
And I thought, I thought
yeah.
he did really good as Nick Fury too. I was kind of like weird that they chose him to play Nick Fury, but after seeing him play Nick Fury, there is no other Nick Fury but Sam Jackson.
How about Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park?
Hold on to your butts.
Yep, hold on to your butts.
Black Snake Moan was weird.
That was really.
I liked it though. I liked.
Yeah, I mean, it was different, but it was just like. But so many times when he just does Samuel L. Jackson. He gets away with it because he's the only bald guy who can wear a beret and a long coat and looks cool doing it.
Right. Did a good job on that. So what else was he in? He's just been in a lot. Did you guys know? I heard before he started doing the acting, he actually did Shakespearean plays.
Oh wow!
I believe it.
Yeah,
they all acted in high school or did something like that. College.
What is that?
I don't know. What is?
I love the line in Ted 2 where the lawyer's name is Samantha Jackson.
Source and Watcher from you. There's like some sort of there's some sort of background noise.
No, sorry.
And she asked, "Well, who's Samuel L. Jackson? You ever see a movie of a black guy? Yeah, that's him."
Oh yes, Eve's Bayou. That is another fantastic movie.
Oh, great movie.
Oh,
Hateful
and then the Negotiator too. Or he had a very small part in this movie that I'm gonna talk about, but it was a great part. The Losers. No, the other guys.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's so good. That one scene, they're like, "Oh my god!" They go up all the way to the top. They're like, the dude like jumps over the building. They're like, "Let's go ahead and do it." Him and The Rock, and they run, try and jump, and then songs on the back.
I love that movie.
Goes my hero, and they just splat and die. That shit had me rolling.
Right? They show them badass, and then they
jump.
Yeah.
That was so great.
And then it just shows Will Ferrell. Oh, I love Will Ferrell.
Man, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg.
He is my boy.
They work really well together in all the movies that they are in. I love them in Daddy's. That is such a great movie.
Which one?
Daddy's Home.
Oh yeah, both of those were really good.
So you guys are all younger than me, so you have different things that you like.
How about The Interview?
That was pretty good. It was pretty good. That was all right. It could have been better, I thought, but it was good. Now I like what was it? Pineapple Express. That was a great movie.
Oh yeah, Pineapple Express.
I didn't care for that one. I thought it was too violent.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm weird about violence.
It's not that violent. It's no more violent than other movies.
The first Kill Bill is the most violent one.
Yeah, Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And the second one has very little violence. It's more mental than it is physical.
Oh, you want to see violence? Watch 300.
Suspects.
I tried to watch Usual Suspects, but I couldn't get past it. It was too cliche.
I love that movie.
I love
that movie. For old movies, as far as action or anything like that, Bullet with
Will
Steve
Ferrell,
Adam
and,
Sandler,
French Connection with Gene Hackman. Just for the car chase scenes.
Oh, and another underrated movie back in the day people didn't like was Toys with Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Which one?
Toy or Toys?
Toys.
Yeah.
Oh, and
you like it? I liked it.
Cusack.
I was so up and down with him as an actor because I thought he was great in World According to Garp.
Yeah. That was a great
which
movie.
is one of my favorite books ever. And the book is so rich that they only can do a little bit of it as a movie.
I can't watch any of his stuff anymore. It makes me too sad. The only movie I can watch is The Birdcage that he's in now.
That's such a good one.
Oh,
No,
That is a
Jumanji.
good one.
Of course, Popeye was a
Jumanji.
disaster.
Oh, Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, that was a good one too.
Oh.
Now that's violent.
yeah,
That's
that one I
violent.
couldn't
That
watch
is
either. Even when I
super
like the
violent.
violent movies, I can't
Yeah.
watch that one.
Then you probably don't watch any Quentin Tarantino movies in either, do you?
You know, I did watch. Yeah, sometimes I do actually, which is weird.
Yeah, because that was any of his movies are way worse than Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
Way worse.
I love Dusty Dawn.
Way.
I'm trying
If
to
there's
remember which
violence
one.
and gore, I'll watch it. Or just
What-
like loose body parts.
Well, from Dusty Dawn had all that. You had heads being cut
Oh,
off.
great movie.
It is a great movie, and it was funny at times.
Yeah, it was.
And creepy,
I don't like
too.
the new horror movies. I don't like the torture.
I
hate it.
I
I
love horror
love
movies.
it.
I love horror movies.
I didn't like
I'm
Hospital
just a
at
sick
all.
individual.
See, and I thought I was until all these new movies came out where it's all torture. Then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not as sick as I thought.
Now, what do you guys think of the Paranormal Activities?
Didn't
Love
see it.
them.
Never see him.
It's like
They're
I didn't like
pretty
House
good.
of 1001 Corpses, but I did like Devil's Rejects.
That
Yeah,
was
Devil's
a great
Rejects
movie.
was good.
That was because there was less killing and there was more speech in it. You know,
I really like Rob Zombie as a person, as a creator. I mean, everything he does, I really like.
I liked his version of Halloween. You see the two; those were really good. I thought he
Came
did a
out
Freddy
really
versus
good job with
Jason.
those
18.
remakes.
No.
You didn't like the
Freddy
remakes?
versus Jason.
I don't like remakes of movies that did not need a remake, and Halloween did not need a remake.
Oh, but
No,
his
but they had to start somewhere.
take
They were
on-
good.
But it just shows there's no originality. I mean, we made The Star is Born for the 4th time.
Yeah. No, it does
It-
show.
it
It
was
does
good.
show that there's originality. It
Well,
does.
It is better than the Streisand one because Christopherson played a drunk. Actually, he's playing himself in that movie at that time.
Oh yes, 1 hour photo. That was a great movie that Robin Williams.
Oh, that was crazy.
That
was
yeah.
so good.
Was that a movie or was that a show that he was that
movie.
a party?
It was a
on,
movie.
like on Law and Order.
How
I think
about,
the movie. I think the movie was first, and then he played the character on Law and Order. I'm assuming.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Blazing Saddles, a TV series. It did not last very long. I think it came and went.
Yeah,
Well,
Rob
I'm
Zombie.
gonna hop off. I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Yeah.
later, Greg.
Bye.
All
Time
right,
to go
bye.
be an adult for a little while.
All right, you guys go get your adult on.
Well, it's beer time.
Oh well,
Yeah, it
that's-
is.
yeah. Oh well, damn. It's kind of early.
Pacifico,
It's kind of early. Have
the
fun.
best of all Mexican beers.
It's 6:50 here.
Oh, so
Well,
yeah,
should have been
you're
drinking
good then.
already.
You're good.
Yeah.
It's almost 3
Yes.
o'clock here.
Yeah, it's almost 4.
Well, it's 5 somewhere. So go ahead and drink anyway, Kimber.
As long as it's afternoon, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll be in
that's-
chat though.
if that were really true, then why did they start selling beer at 6 a.m.?
Depends on where you live. I live in Utah.
Oh no! So no
Yeah.
beer on Sundays. You have to make sure you
No,
have
no,
your
you can
beer on
no, you
Sundays.
can buy beer. No, you can buy beer on Sunday.
Oh, you can? I thought you couldn't.
Well, no, the beer laws changed a little bit because Miller, Coors, and Bud all went to the Department of Alcohol and Beverage Control and said, "We're not going to make you any more 3.2 beer. You're the only state that buys it. We don't make any money. It's tying up our resources." And so they had to give in and go up to 5% beer in the grocery store.
Mhm.
And we November 1st was the first day, and we were all so happy.
And drunk.
Well, we were just walking around the grocery store like, can you believe we have real beer? There is a God. Oh, before I go, hey Kimber, did you see the our friends posting of their haircuts?
What the hell is up with his hair?
I saw that and I said I just posted. Do not care.
Oh,
And you can't leave comments anymore.
I don't care. I just don't
Yeah,
care.
I just love you can't put comments. They've gotten that snowflakey.
It doesn't even need to be discussed anymore, as far as I'm concerned. It just
Yeah.
doesn't
Unless they
even
come over,
matter.
unless they come over and bug us.
No, I know in Texas you can't buy beer on Sundays because I remember I lived there. I worked at HEB, and
It,
yeah, we
it was that
couldn't.
way in
Yeah, we
Atlanta,
had
Georgia for a long time. There were blue laws. It's
Yeah.
noon on Sunday in Chicago area, which is the time the Bears game starts. Be some desperate boys trying to get their beer.
here you can't buy alcohol until afternoon on Sundays.
Really?
Aren't there parts of
Yes.
Alaska have no
So
alcohol whatsoever?
yeah, there's a lot of the Indian villages that are dry. But the thing is when you go to them, the roads are completely covered in beer cans and alcohol
Mhm.
bottles.
Yeah, I've seen enough of those Alaska state troopers and those kind of shows. You know, I admire those guys who have to go running around planes, you know, be cops. That's a hard job.
The academy is like a block and a half away from my house for the Alaska
Yeah.
troopers and cops. So I get
Yeah.
to see the dog past my house twice a day, which is good.
Hey, it makes you feel safe. You know where they are.
That's not why I like them.
Oh,
If my
okay.
dogs sit out there and cheer them on, woohoo!
Yeah, free thinker, thank you. Yeah, Noli told me that she went on and was talking about me. So thanks. Well, at least someone made it over from there, I guess. Thanks.
Anybody remember the Howling Wolf?
Oh, yeah.
Like the legend that died
Schemo Howling Wolf.
Man, that's
It's
awesome.
Schemo Howling Wolf. Oh, this morning Glitterbug was on Devon's
I could have swore you
stream
didn't
for
buy
3
beer.
hours.
Maybe there's a time limit on Texas. I remember there was something to do with Sunday. You couldn't buy beer, or maybe it was you couldn't buy it past before noon or something like that. Maybe that's what it
Probably
was.
noon. Yeah, you couldn't buy Coors east of Texas for many years. Of Texarkana. That was the whole basis of Smokey and the Bandit was bootlegging Coors.
When
That was
did you live
true.
there?
Huh?
Texas?
Yeah.
Like 5 years ago or something like that.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that.
I lived there in 94, and we had to go across. We lived in a dry county,
Mm-hmm.
so we had to go across the county line to get alcohol.
Yeah.
I
Same
don't
thing
know
in
if it's still
Alabama.
like
It was a
that.
county by county vote, and we lived 12 miles from the nearest wet county. And so my stepdad we'd all get in the car and go drive to the Red Barn liquor store every Saturday to get his beer. You could drink it, you just couldn't buy it in Jacksonville, Alabama at that time.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
He went to school.
So 12 p.m. and midnight, so you can't buy it after midnight.
Even Arizona had that law for a long time on Sundays.
I'll tell you what. So I had some of the best beer I've ever had in Texas, and I've been trying to get some of the beer
Not Lone
from
Star.
Texas here. Man, that's it. And you know what's curious? What's funny is the same people that make Budweiser make this beer I really like.
Shiner
But
Bock.
yes, or Ziegenbach.
Shiner Bock's not that
Ziegenbach's
bad.
really good too. Ziegenbach. Ziegenbach's only made in
but not Lone
they only
Star.
have it in Texas or that area. And Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch makes it, but they make it specifically for that area, and they won't ship it anywhere else. Because I think they're missing out on a whole lot of money if they can nationalize it.
Oh, I'm so happy that Dixie Beer came back in New Orleans. I'm trying to find a place that'll stock it. They were gone for 15 years because of Katrina, but somebody reopened it. And that's good beer.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Is there anything else anyone else wants to have to say? Carl, you got anything last minute?
Speaking of emo, I call him Diaper Man.
Schemo.
Diaper Man with his psychic powder boy.
What Gary Snowflake has done to him is almost criminal.
Distortion Watcher, yes, no, but I'm going to ask you anyway. You got anything last minute to say?
No.
All right. Sean.
It's always fun. It's always a pleasure.
Okay. Kimber.
Her mic's off.
Her mic is off. Are you with us, Kim? She must be
She's still
awake.
gone.
She must be AFK.
Yes. Well, I'll be AFK real soon here.
Yeah. All right. So, Kat, thanks for joining me. Aaron, thank you. Paul, thanks for joining. Kim, thank you, sir. May,
All of
thank you
us.
for all the help. Power Wagon, thank you.
Hi, Comfort Doll.
Greg, thank you.
Kimmer's back.
Oh,
I'm
Free
back.
Thinker, thank you. Everyone, thanks. So, okay, Kimmer, last minute things to say.
Nope, not that I can think of.
Not that you can, and you'll probably think of it as you get off. Probably what it'll be.
Exactly. I'll remember at 3:00 in the morning, and I'll be calling everybody back.
Like, all right, everyone, get back on fucking stream. I remembered.
I
Turn those machines back on, Sal.
will.
I just wanted to know how the weather was where you are. Maybe something stupid.
Well,
Right?
and let's say a silent prayer for the people in Louisiana and that area down there, because it's
Absolutely.
hurricane time again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're in that area, make sure you stay safe. And if you're anywhere near the fire area, make sure you stay indoors. It's still bad, and you don't want to have any.
Smoke's coming over
Yeah.
here to Salt Lake City from California.
Oh, jeez.
It is awful around here, but it's not as bad as like Nevada. There's parts of Nevada, the desert is just they can't see.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah, that's
safe,
pretty
everyone,
bad.
as always.
Yeah. All right, guys. Everyone have a fantastic day, and we'll see you again
Whenever you want to go on.
Yeah, whenever I decide to go on, or whenever video, and for sure Saturday, because we're going to be talking about the Scientologists and how evil they are. No, but I guess some people would think they're evil.
Tom Cruise is.
Oh, see,
Kirstie
but that's
Alley,
because
John Travolta.
But that's because Tom Cruise is it's a sociopath, complete sociopath.
Well, and now he's even more sociopath. He's like second in power. I mean, if Miscavige passed away tomorrow, I think Tom Cruise would take over.
I agree. And here's the thing. Tom Cruise, you know how I know he's a sociopath? Only actor I know that played a German Nazi leader and didn't speak with a German accent, while everyone around him spoke with English accents that were German officers. The only person with a German accent in that whole movie was Hitler.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
It's like in every Jesus film, they've never had a Jewish guy play Jesus.
Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, it's Max von Sydow was Swedish.
Yeah. It's just a weird. It's Hollywood. It's the way they do things. It's really weird.
Yes. I one time I want to see Jesus go oy vey. That'd
Right?
be funny.
That would be funny. Well, no. And what about in The Passion? Wasn't he? He was.
They spoke in Aramaic.
Okay. What was the guy that played Jesus? What was he?
There are theologians at DePaul University in Chicago, which is a Catholic school, who think that he was probably partially Greek, Arabic, definitely Jewish.
Yeah.
But he's probably a mixture.
Okay. All right, guys.
I would like.
Was Robert Powell. Okay.
Robert Powell did a great job in Jesus of Nazareth. That was really done well.
I would like to apologize to everyone watching this and up on the panel for my picture.
I like it. What is it?
Cool.
Picture.
It's me.
It's you.
He's trying to compete with Brandy Beaver for airtime.
Yeah.
Carl, you've got great teeth.
Yep.
In the words of Bender Bending Rodriguez, shut up, I know it.
All right, guys. It's been a lot of fun, but
it always is.
Say goodbye.
It's funny how you start with one little thing and it just snowballs and it goes off the tracks and we bring it back.
Yeah.
And nobody yells at anybody. Nobody curses too much.
Shut the hell up, everybody, and let Kenny get the hell off of here. No.
Okay. Bye.
I'm kidding.
All right, later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.